Hello, I'm Sally Hale with the League of Women Voters of Clark County. For 101 years now, the nonpartisan, nonprofit league has been committed to empowering voters and defending democracy. Each month, we feature an article drawn from the Clark County Historical Museum League of Women Voters archives. The link is on the script that is attached to this video. For today's history moment, our league historian, Tracy Reilly Kelly, is talking about the Equal Rights Amendment.
The Equal Rights Amendment, the ERA, was first written by suffragist Alice Paul in 1923. Paul had just led the successful ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, and she spent the rest of her life seeking passage and ratification for the ERA. It was ratified by 35 of the 38 states in the 1970s, but it failed to meet its deadline in 1983. In Clark County and nationally, the League of Women Voters had supported this amendment from its very beginning. Feminism itself was a widely backed concept for League members, if not for the nation. Washington State rapidly ratified ERA in 1972, March 22nd, 1973. After the first successful push, anti-feminists began to organize against the ERA. Nationally, the League of Women Voters and other supportive organizations began a vibrant campaign effort in the late 1970s. This was because of a civic effort that had come from a variety of women's organizations that successfully granted an extension from 1978 to 1983. And in fact, in September 1977, First Lady Rosalind Carter presented a check to the League of Women Voters Education Project for the effort. In Vancouver, town halls, media articles, and letters to the editor about the ERA were abuzz in 1977 and 1978. The League of Women Voters of Clark County advertised ERA as its February 1978 forum topic. Letter writing campaigns were organized. President Mary Legree wrote an opinion supporting the ERA, and in those same years, the local league was vociferous in its effort supporting another idea, which was Referendum 40. Now, Referendum 40 would turn the state's Women's Council, a volunteer effort, into a women's commission. It became synonymous, Referendum 40 and ERA, with that legislation nationwide for people's minds in Washington state. Now think back to those times. It was still widely debated whether women should work out of the home, whether feminists wanted to force women to work. Opponents like Joanne Schlegel of Women for Integrity in the Nation stated, if most women stayed at home and cared for their children, there would be less juvenile problems. Conservative activist Bill Hughes, local activist Bill Hughes, who always felt he knew what was best for women, wrote that in supporting ERA, I used to think that the League of Women Voters was left-leaning. Well, now all doubt has been removed. Vancouver's leading ultra-conservative activist, Helen Donovan, vociferously decried the League of Women Voters' support of ERA, and she said that it would amplify abortion rights and homosexuality. Questions remained about the boundaries of the time limits for passage throughout the 80s and 90s. In 1985, our national president, Dorothy Riddens, went to the Oregon League of Women Voters Convention, and she said, we must support the Civil Rights Act because without it, we may as well forget about ERA for a good long time.